the 8 most infuriating aspects of Thailand. Top of the morning, I'm coming to you live from Jomtien Beach on a Sunday morning at 7 a.m. where I'm feeling fresh. I had a very early night last night. The same cannot be said for all these Thai locals that are down here kicking on after a late Saturday night. Let's go have a look. There are Sunday morning kick-ons down here at Jomtien, but that's not what today's video is about, of course. What it is about is the infuriating things about moving here and living here and traveling here in Thailand. So for this one, I asked 8 expats, what is the one most infuriating pet peeve that you have living here in Thailand? I've asked Rob from ProjectBangkok in Bangkok this question. I've asked KeisOne, I've asked Jason, Good Vibes Pattaya from Franc Sarah, and a few other notable faces that I think you're going to recognize. First, let's jump on the bike and go somewhere a little bit quieter to talk. Just while I find a good spot to sit, let's cross to our correspondent at Pattaya Beach. What's your pet peeve about Thailand?
There's a few of them. One of them being grumpy old men. Got a face on them all the time. You're walking around enjoying yourself. They're sitting around in the bars, and I've had to deal with plenty of them. And there's a few in my condo that are disgruntled for no reason whatsoever.
The grumpy lift experience?
Yeah.
I see you every day, man.
Yeah, and I don't know why they're like that. But anyway, that's pretty minor on the pet peevance scale, let's say.
I'm giving you opportunity to vent, man.
Right. Another one that gets to me, obviously it's not going to relate to people outside here, but it's all these YouTubers that walk around and they're just filming girls all day. They're not saying anything. They're walking around sneakily holding a camera. And then you see them getting like millions of views and they're putting no effort in. You know, like maybe I'm being a bit, what's the word?
Jealous?
Jealous, yeah. But anyway, yeah, that's another thing. And another one is all these Farangs out here trying to hit on my girlfriend, like when we're together, and they just assume that...
Like in the street, when you're there?
In the street, in Big C, just giving them the eyes, you know what I mean?
In the shopping centre.
Yeah, and it's just like, mate, what are you doing? Like, there's been a few times when I've got angry, and people think just because, you know, there's a girl in this city, they're all available because
common decency doesn't
yeah, that's my rant.
What I love about that is none of your 3 pet peeves are grievances with anything Thai. It's all about foreigners,
yeah.
Which is interesting. Oh, thanks, bro. On to the next YouTuber. And back to Jomtien Beach. Thank you, Mac, for sharing, and also thank you, Sam, for doing that corresponding job. The second person I've spoken to about what infuriates them, what is their number one pet peeve, I've asked a dear friend of mine from England. He's an expat here. He's been here for approximately 2 years. He's a digital nomad. He does online business from his condo most days, and he's also on YouTube, Mr. KeisTV. So I asked Kixie, what is the most infuriating aspect of staying here in Thailand? And he responded unequivocally, the inconsistencies when dealing with official processes. So Kixie finds it incredibly frustrating when he goes to one department to get paperwork done, and then he goes to the next department and he gets a different message. So I think we'll summarize that as bureaucratic inconsistencies. It is a beautiful morning down here at Jomtien Beach. So I'm going to jump on the bike and show you a new location to talk about number 3. We made it. Now I've seen these boats around us parked up in the morning, but I've never been here at 7:30 a.m. on a Sunday morning to see all the fish coming back. And it is like an impromptu fish market. If you're traveling to Thailand, to Pattaya, and you can come down to Jomtien Beach on a Sunday morning around 7 a.m, it's definitely worth checking out. Point number 3, my friend from Bangkok, Rob, he has a great YouTube channel, ProjectBangkok. I'll leave a link in the description. When I asked him what infuriates him the most living in Thailand, his response had nothing to do with Thailand or Thai people, but instead the fly-by-night nature of making friends with people here, particularly foreigners, and then being lured into a false sense of security that those friends, those people, they're gonna stay here in your life for a long time. Then sadly to realize that those people have to move on or go home, and those important, precious relationships which are made all the more important when you're living in a place that's so far from your family and your home where you grew up. Not so much for tourists, but people living here, expats, they place so much emphasis on those relationships, particularly people from their own country or their own culture or natively speak their own language. Friends here can almost become like family, and when those people walk out of your life, it really hurts. Now this brings me to point number 4. Franc and Sarah, 2 lovely YouTubers from Australia. I met them when they were traveling through Thailand a couple of months ago, and I really bonded with them. I'll throw their YouTube channel up there. So I really get what Project Bangkok was saying. Lucky for me, Franc and Sarah are coming back to Thailand in August. At the moment, they're traveling through Malaysia and Vietnam. So I reached out to Sarah last night and I asked her, for all the time that you spent living in Jomtien and Chiang Mai in Thailand, what was the one thing that infuriated you? So Sarah said the thing that really frustrates her, it's an existential thing. What she really takes issue with is Thailand's reputation as a hub for alcohol and cannabis and sex, overshadowing all the other beautiful things that this country and this culture has to offer. And I really get that. Number 5, I asked my friend Jason, good Vibes Pattaya, last night, and he gave a response that was clear and concise and to the point, much like his YouTube videos. Now he's an over 50s retiree from Australia. He's been here at least a year, and the thing that gets him the most, convenience stores, 7-Eleven stores, they don't take debit card. Nice one, Jace. A nice and simple one. Speaking of 7-Eleven, I think I'm due for an early morning soda water. You take debit? Popcorn card. For number 6, I asked my good friend Ramze. He's an American. He relocated here to Thailand, to Pattaya, only 6 months ago. If you watched my recent video where we visited the Pattaya orphanage, Ramze was the generous soul that paid for that entire event. It's good. And he said, living in Thailand can be frustrating for some due to the deeply ingrained tradition of saving face. Now this prioritizes maintaining harmony and avoiding confrontation. This cultural norm, it can lead to a lack of accountability, as it's considered rude to express anger or openly criticize others. As a result of this, issues may go unresolved and mistakes may not be dealt with directly, and it creates an environment where people are hesitant to acknowledge or take responsibility for their actions. Now this can be very frustrating for people who are accustomed to more direct communication and problem-solving approaches. Off to number 7, I'll leave a Ramze Travels link in the description below. Point number 7. I thought I'd pop down to Lang Sawai Song fishing port down here in Nha Jomtien to talk about point number 7. I asked my good friend and Canadian who lives in Bangkok. He's been here for almost 2 years now as a digital nomad, passport Marc. And this is quite a funny response, seeing that we have fish on tap here to purchase. But for him, I mean, he lives just off Sukhumvit in Bangkok, and he says that the thing that is most frustrating to him is not being able to buy fresh beef. Yes, frozen, yes, or even go to that Argentinian steakhouse down the road and pay big bucks for a fresh cut, while fresh seafood is absolutely on tap here. Beef, if that's your thing, not so much. What's that, Popeye? Marc? Popeye says he should eat more spinach. Thanks, mate. I agree. Last night when I asked my friend KeisOne, another Australian living in Bangkok for 3 years now, mate, what is the most infuriating thing in Thailand for you? He simply said, sidewalks. A basic answer for a basic guy. Just joking, Keisy, you know, we love you. Well, there we have it. 8 opinions from foreigners who've lived here for a reasonable amount of time. What are your thoughts on this? Whether you're a traveler or an expat, please leave me a comment. As long as they're respectful, you can